Okay, sorry if this sounds echoing. I'm in a room that is an office, but it's got a closed door. It might echo. Anyway, I wanted to give a list of. I wanted to talk about a list I was given in this whole process with, the healthcare and insurance and how to find some help with it. And it generally is just a bunch of what I call runaround numbers, phone numbers. They say, call these people, contact them, look on their website, whatever. I have spent, it's been over a month now, time with these different numbers. And this one, I don't exactly know when I started doing this time around. I've done them before in the past. And I never get anywhere, really, never, ever. And this time I was given this list by people who should know what they're sending out, know what they're giving out. They should know this. And they should feel somewhat responsible. Although it says at the bottom they're not responsible. But they should at least update their list. Check it every once in a while. They could be giving this very fine print, by the way, very fine print, that they're not responsible. Okay, basically says that. I mean, if an elderly person, even people my age, senior citizens, some might not be able to read that at all, even with readers on. They might not. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of professional, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go through this list. I'm not going to name the names on the list. I'm not going to show the list. I'm just going to say what happened when I tried the list, okay? And let's see. Okay, the first one on the list, I actually had, out of the whole list, let's see, 8 of them, plus one that I had known about. So 9 altogether. Yeah, I think that was it. I called yesterday or the day before. But anyway, one of them I got an appointment with, but it's not anywhere near here, which is probably a good thing. I'm stereotyping. Well, I'm going to say the places I have been around here over the past 20 years, where I personally have been for healthcare, I wouldn't recommend them. So. And while I'm at it, one of them on the list is one of those. Okay, so I've just X'd out that, of course. And now one of the first ones I'm going to talk about is basically that was the only one I could get an appointment with. But I gotta check that out. Like I said, it's not around here, so that's the thing. That's probably 2 hours of driving and plus sitting there waiting, and I have no idea what I'm walking into. And they sent me, the whole thing of, well, you join the portal, go in the portal. And I'm just like, I don't know. And then they want you to print out your own forms, I guess. It doesn't say. And sign them and bring them back in. But they didn't say that. And it doesn't say on what they sent me. And it's on I'm checking on my cell phone, which I'm not going to be able to print. Plus my computer does not print with my new computer doesn't print with my old, does that work? The old printer. Wow, I can't get my words out today. Anyway, let's see. The next one was the biggest one that I want to talk about. It was like, oh my goodness. And I actually told somebody in a different department, a different place this today about what was given out to me. And he was like, whoa. But basically, the phone, I called it. I said, this one sounded kind of familiar. Something was, like I said, is that one? But anyway, I called it and it said, it was the number just kept ringing. How often these days do you hear a business and the number just keeps ringing? No voicemail, no automated system, nothing. And it kept doing that. And so I called it back another time and it just said, this number cannot be dialed, connect as dialed or something like that. And, so I looked online and I'd already voiced it, to check out this this place. And it went up to, had all these other options. And one of them was from a foreign country, another country, and across the globe. And it's not exactly known as the best for us. But anyway, and I did this kind of process again, a different way. I think one time I voiced it, and then the other time I actually went to the website, the web address that they gave, and typed it out as it is. It went to that same thing. Okay, it was not here. Scam much? Okay. Okay, then the next one, let's see. I don't know. I just wrote no human. I guess there was, it was an automated system that had absolutely no way to speak to anybody that I found. I mean, it was a bunch of pages, I guess you call them. Go back to the next one or go forward to this one. Like, really? Okay. And then there was this one. And then later on in the list, there's another one. And they have different addresses, and they're in different towns. I mean, one's let's say a small city. The other one's a big city. And, the first one I called, I have to call back. She said, I have an appointment on this date. But she doesn't work at any of them. It's for all of them. Which I said, okay. And she said they had several locations. And I said, okay. And we were talking. I said, we were talking about the appointment, what I need to do and all that. And I said, yeah, I'd already told her to go ahead and schedule it for that day. And it's the only appointment they have left until the next time that they haven't opened up those days in August. Okay, this is June. And it was at the end of July. Very end of July, yeah. Last week of July. And while we were talking, she goes, oh, that appointment's gone now. I was thinking, huh? Yeah. Huh? What is, yeah. Anyway, let me see. So then later on, I called these, I was going through the list, and the very last one on the list, it was like impossible to find who to speak to. So I had to go back and call it again or something like that. And I pushed one to just speak to someone that is not in the office or whatever they call it. And the guy, I could barely understand him. I mean, his accent was extremely thick. And he was very nervous. And he said, I'll connect you. I said, well, what I'm wanting is this. And I'll connect you. But the rest of what he was saying, I could not understand. And I'm not that type of person. I married somebody who's, anytime you give any kind of, I'm not, and here's an example, somebody's going to say, see there? Yep, they all do that. Well, I'm a sociologist. I know where people get that stuff from, and you need to stop saying that. They really need to stop saying, oh, if somebody tries to defend themselves, then that only says that they are guilty. No, it's not. That's a bunch of BS put out by people who want to do that. Okay, so no. I taught at college and university. No. Okay, stop doing that. But anyway, I couldn't understand him. There's sometimes people don't understand me here in Texas, and I'm Texan. Okay, seriously. I just went to a place, and the woman is Texan. So, that's the hilarious part of it. She is. I'm from a different part of Texas. She doesn't understand my accent. Okay? Seriously, I'm not kidding. So that happens. People need to realize that you might not be able to understand other people's accent. Come on, grow up. Anyway, where was I on this list? But this other one I called, and the guy connected me to somebody else, and then the guy that I spoke to then, he was saying, I'm listening to him. I said, well, wait a minute. Are you the same people as this? And he said, yes. Well, here was the weirdness of it, is that they both had given me an address. And let me see here. I had thought it was a different one, but they both gave me an address, and the address was the same street number, street name, and suite number, but a different city. One was a town and one was a city. And then today I was going through them and I said, maybe I had gotten mixed up. But no, two of them were the same address. Okay. Anyway, and then there was one I had actually been to years ago, and it's not in this area, it's in another part, and the last I heard of it is you can't go there if you live in this county. That's a different county. And I tried calling it just to see. It's too far from here as it is. Well, some of these are in different counties now. And so I called that one. It's about an hour away, so it'd be a 2-hour trip too, but in a different direction. And it's an automated system. It says pick a number. I picked a number. And then it sends it to a different automated, what is it called? Automated, I always do that wrong. Automated system. And it says pick a number. Did that. And it keeps going through it all over again, and over again. It never connects to anybody. And I was like, really? Seriously? Called it again another time, and sure enough, that's what it's doing still. So it's an endless loop there. Nobody ever answers. No, you never get to reach someone, nothing. And like I said, another one was this thing of one I've been to, and that was so bad. It was so bad. Yeah. And let's see. And then another one was a park. It was a park. Okay. Yeah. So, and then the other one was, connected to this other one. And then I called one that I knew of, but I could not remember the name of it. And it's attached to a university, some down the line. Some of them are like that. Anyway, the woman that answered it, I don't want to say, she seemed to have, she was very professional. Her voice was very professional as how she spoke and how she behaved. Her behavior was very professional. But what she was actually doing was not. She basically was not going to help me. She said that I was actually in their system. But I was telling her where I had went and what they had said for me to go to this other place and another one. She goes, we don't have that. We don't have a location there. I said, well, you're able to look me up on your system, so can you tell me where I should be going then? You know, she had my address and all. And she dodged it. She kept dodging it. And I'm like, well, I'm not understanding our disconnect here. If you have me in your system, you should be able to tell me which location, where I should be going. Like I said, she just kept dodging it. And I started to get the creeps, you know, because I was trying to think, after having that one that's a scam that goes to another country, did I accidentally say it? But it's not something that, after that, she's, because we hear a lot about, I better say this part, about the other country, we hear a lot about hackers. Okay, I'll just put it that way. And so no, I wasn't going to follow that through. Yeah, to make an appointment for here in the United States, and when the phone number just keeps ringing and then it tells me I can't dial that number that way that I was dialing it. Oh, yeah, not good. And it turns out to be a country across the globe that was known for hackers here. You see, no. So, I don't want that to be mistaken as some kind of anyway, move on. But that's what it was. And I'm like, when I told that guy who also works for, appropriate people, he was like, yeah, that's bad. That is bad. So he knows about it now. He has to do his duty with that. And it should not be something they're handing out to people. Okay? Yeah. So then with that, it must be something like a scam or something. And then to see this next thing, when the woman she says, well, let me check. And I had actually Googled it and all that, but it doesn't, Anyway, so I give her my information that she has, and she says, yeah, we have your information. The last time you went was this year. And she told me which year. It was 2016. And, it just went on from there. And then she didn't know how to add. Yeah. She couldn't add. Really. Seriously. Or subtract numbers. So I started getting a bit suspicious. What would you... I don't want to be suspicious. I want one of these numbers, these pages, these appropriate people hand me, tell me to call, whatever, to not be runaround numbers. When you call them, like they would get, one of them gave me numbers weighing, how many miles would that be? But it's several counties over, and it's probably, I would say about 3 or 4 hour drive away. And that those people were saying, why are they giving you this county? Exactly. Okay, why? Tell me, why? When I live nowhere near there. Okay? And it's just, maybe they just don't know. It's, God. But you could spend, like I have, several days at a time, just trying to find, reach like I did yesterday. Of course, not 24 hours, but you know what I'm saying. And I get so tired and exhausted and talking to so many people. Like I talked to one of them today, 2 hours. Yeah. That's in all this whole mess. 2 hours, yeah. Really, seriously. And I have to talk to him again. So it's going to be a lot. But getting nowhere. But that last one, that was very creepy because she told me when, and then she couldn't follow through with the rest of it. I'm actually a victim of identity theft. It goes back to almost 20 years ago that I found out about it. I had gone to some place, and the woman covered her hand on it. It was an what is it called? A readout of my credit. And she put her hand over something. I said, wait a minute, what's that? She goes, I can't tell you. And then she got up and walked away. And you bet I looked. And it was, the long story short is somebody had stolen my Social Security number and was using it to work and to get credit in their name. And you think that's easy to get rid of? It's not. Because I couldn't do it. Because that person had more current credit in their name than I had in mine. And it was my Social Security number. Yeah. And they had it to where the mail was sent to them at another address. Over the years, I'd call places and said, well, we have this address. It's, no. I'd have to send them certified, letters and stuff stating that this is mine. Do not give it to them. And trying the credit card companies to get it, like I said, that they said, I can't put a halt on it because they have more credit in their name than I do in mine. Oh man, you want to get a lawyer for somebody messing with your credit to do all this? No, I was back then, And so I just left it as it is. There's nothing I can do. I tried every angle, every other way, all three of those main ones. I don't know how many it is now. Nope, couldn't do it. So I don't want to go through all that crap again. And yeah, I only worry these days, what's it going to be whenever I get on, when I retire? What kind of mess is that going to be? And that's enough of my life dealing with this mess. But I might wind up having to get a lawyer, seriously. And I was actually, the person I spoke to today for 2 hours said that might be the best route. Yeah, and yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to do this, to have a little, have it out there that I'm keeping track on what's going on with all this now. And this is a month into it, so I have some videos that I've made before. I haven't put up. Some I made and I just put on a channel that I have. It's private. So I'm keeping a record. Anyway, wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.